can take care of her. Ciao, Kiki. Hi, Kiki.
And I freaked out. I was like, oh, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I can't hand steer for 1,100 miles. Obviously, I would have had to. But, you know, after using a lot of swear words, which didn't solve the problem, but it was worth a try, I made myself a Bailey's and coffee and just looked at the problem for a little bit.
It solves everything.
It did, yeah. And so then I just started looking around the boat for things I could maybe make a rudder out of. And I used a wooden oar.
Today's episode brought to you in part by Squarespace, website creation and development platform.
They go close the wreck, Rick.
Which wreck? The graveyard?
That one,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, did you see?
We saw a lot of fish. Hello.
Danny filmed the graveyard the other day with the drone.
I
It's
saw
pretty
now.
spectacular from the
Yeah,
air.
I saw your video, you posted now.
Yeah,
You publish it now, no?
yeah,
I
yeah.
want to
I
see.
shared his video. It was a really nice little shot from the drone. So what are we doing today?
Oh,
Tortelli.
tortelli, spinaci, and ricotta.
So
Fresh
it's
pasta.
Italian day.
Oh, with
Yeah.
with
Dan
homemade
is from Bologna. He's the king
homemade
of the
ragu,
pasta.
Bolognese ragu from Bologna.
And Bolognese ragu from Bologna because Paul, his partner, don't eat veggie.
No,
It's like
only
Daniel.
beef. A lot of beef. Yeah.
Yeah,
Lots of beef, no veggies.
No veggie. No.
for this.
Did you hear that, Danny? There's someone else in your club.
Yeah, making you a company.
All right, sounds like it's going to be a cool day. We got the ladies here going to be doing some Italian cooking in the galley. So look forward to sampling that. Should be good.
I want to see the video of Para then. Hey Danny,
Che video è?
he make a video. I want to open a big imagine, but it's like this.
There's the Rex.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh, nice.
Yeah, no, Daniel's very good. Daniel Para Entertainment.
Good job, Danny. Look forward to see your next project.
We have 8 eggs for
Okay.
around 1 kilo for flour.
Oh.
We don't like to use too much. Now we have the time for the flour.
Okay, we add the flour to the eggs. This package is 1 pound.
Yeah, Daniela is from Bologna, and she knows very well to make a fresh pasta. Today she teaching us.
Okay. Now we add some semola.
Yeah, this for me more good the pasta. Normally we use how many for 1 kilo? Almost 100 gram.
I don't know, but we put. I like it because this make the pasta more not smooth. Come si dice?
More rustic.
Yes. We have to add more flour because it's too wet. Okay. Now,
The semola is good, not the quantity, or we need to use a little more?
I feel the semola in my hand.
Okay.
Probably we can put a little bit more. Yeah. Okay.
In the meantime, we have the manual Italian machine to do pasta. This is yes, arrived from Italy because a lot for if you live in a boat is not a good quality. They told me the stainless steel, but all the time is rusty very fast. They rusty very fast. But this is the universal, always working the arms, and with this we can make flat the pasta. Today is Sunday. Normally in our family the Sunday is the cooking day with all the family.
With good food.
Yeah. Tortelli, ravioli,
Lasagna, tortellini.
big barbecue sometime. If you have a nice day outside, it's not so cold.
Flour, please. Thank you. Ok, aquí tenemos el impasto, el dough.
We have our dough, the pasta
Okay.
dough. Now I need to rest for 30 minutes.
While we put in a plastic wrap and we leave for 30 minutes to rest.
Daniele and Paul. Daniele is from Italy, Paul is from Canada. They are from San Blas, Panama. They pass all the quarantine time in San Blas.
Yeah.
They are a little happy now to stay here in San Andreas with some people more.
It's beautiful, San Andrea. We love it.
Yeah, after 1 year in quarantine in a almost desert island.
Yeah, no, we was not allowed to go in the island with the people. And in the island with the people, you can find also some food, some small grocery because they don't have a lot. And was difficult to find the food last year. Now there are some boats that come with the food, with the veggie, but they are super expensive and they come every 15 days. Yeah, it's not easy. Yeah.
No, it's a good place if you want to make a diet.
Yeah.
A dieta.
If we was lucky because we had a big freezer and we full up with meat and everything from Panama before to leave. But otherwise, the people have to deal with fish or nothing there.
If you want to come in San Andreas, everybody is welcome, I think so now. It's like a little paradise with a normal life inside the quarantine time.
And that is our neighbor Dustin's boat right there. And Dustin is a single-handed sailor, literally, and he's going to be the first one to complete a circumnavigation as a double amputee. That, my friends, is huge. I can't even imagine the challenges he faces on that boat running it alone. I run this one by myself a lot, but as a double amputee, that's amazing. So he's invited us to come over and have a look at the boat and just see how he makes his way around and say hi before he leaves because he's checking out in like 2 hours. So we're gonna go say hi right now. Back soon, Tiki. Bristol 32. Capitan, you on board? Hey, there he is. Good time?
Yeah, of course.
All right, I'll come up on, I guess, your starboard or where?
Yeah, either one. I mean, it's got a little opening here if that's easier.
Sorry, what?
It's open right here if that's easier.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, no worries.
Yes. Wow, nice fishing reel.
Yeah, that's the grocery getter there.
Yeah, that's a heavy duty one. Strapped right to the rail. That's a good idea.
Yeah, for fishing, I kind of lean here and I use my chicken wing to guide the line. So that way I don't have to worry about a pole or hanging on to anything.
And just go straight out the back.
Yeah.
Doesn't interfere with your propane.
No, it kind of will drag just underneath it.
Okay.
Sometimes it'll hook over the wind vane rudder if it's not down.
All right, cool. Let me shut down.
Just like a pink rubber tube, you know, like surgical tubing.
And that's your
With
lure.
a hook, and yeah. So this is like one of the best things I've ever used for tuna and mahi-mahi.
Oh, okay.
And nice thing is you don't usually catch too many billfish, which I don't like dealing with by myself anyway. So,
yeah, that's a big problem.
yeah, like the bigger Hawaii fishing lures, you know, you catch too many marlin and stuff. But that's
Yeah, I
usually
guess-
just stuff you could eat. And,
You're from the land of big game,
yes, yes.
Hawaii.
So yeah. Yeah, have a seat. You
Thank you.
want to check out inside?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
A Bristol 32, right?
35.
35, okay.
Yeah. It's has the 32 labels on it because
Yeah.
the previous owner wanted cheaper marina fees. And so even the registration had 32 feet on it, even
Clever
though it's
guy.
a 35-foot boat. Yeah.
Clever, clever.
And so yeah, it's all pretty simple. It's got a gas
Nice
stove.
galley.
Yeah, that's a refrigerator.
Refrigeration. Cool. Control panel. And lots of books.
Lots of books. Yeah.
You like your library too, huh?
So-
Nice. Nav station.
Yeah, it's good. I like simplicity, so you know I just have a small B&G, but then I also have a, you know, it's hooked up to the radar and AIS too. So
And back here, this
it's
is
all sail storage.
storage. Could be a
Yeah.
quarter berth or something if you wanted.
Yeah, originally it was a quarter berth.
Or like a
but-
sea berth.
Yeah, so I keep all the sails there. If I do really long trips, I'll move them up forward just for a little bit better weight distribution. And that way it's also easier to get to the engine if I need to fix something.
You sleep in there when you're at sea or up in the bow?
I either sleep here or here, depending on which way the boat's listing.
Either side.
They both fold out, like, so both of these kind of make pretty big beds.
Yeah.
But the problem is this one, if it's folded out, you can't open the bathroom door.
Oh, okay, okay.
And so I never really fold that one out. But
Then you just have a lee cloth or something, or you just go on whichever
I just
side
go-
is on the lee?
yeah, I just go whatever side's on the lee.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So,
Not responsible for women left overnight.
yep. So ladies, you've been warned.
What are you trying to say?
I'm just not taking any responsibility for anyone that stays over.
Good philosophy. Cool, man.
Yeah.
Nice V-berth.
Yeah, so it's a bit messy. I sleep up there when I'm on anchor, but when I go to sea, it's just storage.
Uh-huh. That looks nice. And this is
Yeah, that's the head. Yeah, you can open it.
oh,
The
let's see.
handle's a little funky. but-
Ah, there we go. Yeah, she's a good size. And you've been on the boat for how long now?
So I've been on this boat for going on 4 years. I had the Allberg 35
Yeah.
for 2 years before that. So 6 years total living on board 100% of the time.
So it was almost the same size boat.
Yeah, this one's a little bit wider and a higher freeboard, so it's a lot roomier. The Allberg is an older design. It was a 1968, and this is a 1983.
Yeah, it's more of a full keel design.
Mm-hmm.
Solid cruiser.
Yep.
Stable but slow.
Yeah, it's an amazing boat, really solid, but yeah, it is slow. This one's a lot quicker. It has a centerboard, so which is nice in the Caribbean. You know, like up until I got here, I've never worried about having a shallow draft, but
It's a swing board, or what is it?
yeah, it's a centerboard. So it goes here, and the controls are up here. So the cable actually runs through this pipe,
Okay.
and then there's a 90, and then another 90 that goes to where the centerboard pulls up. So it's like a mid keel.
Takes
then-
your draft from what to what?
From 3.5 feet to 8.5 feet.
That's a big difference.
Yeah, it's nice pointing upwind. It gives you about another 5 to 8 degrees on the GPS.
Does it ever give you any trouble? Does it bind up or anything?
If it's rolly, it'll go thunk 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 thunk, you know. But if you're pinching into the wind, it doesn't do that. It sits nicely.
Yeah, it stays riding where it's supposed to.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, That's really the only time I ever use it, is if I'm really trying to point as high as possible.
Mm-hmm. So how long have you been sailing now?
I left June of 2014 from Hawaii. So it makes about 6.5 years I've been sailing full time.
And what got you into sailing? Just living in Hawaii?
No, I'd never really sailed before. I had a motorcycle crash. I was hit by a drunk driver, and there was a huge amount of financial problems from that. I was sued for $500,000 by my insurance company.
You were the victim of an accident?
Yeah, well, if I would have just ran my motorcycle into a tree and I was drunk myself, my insurance would have paid for it. But since it was a third-party liability, they said it's his responsibility to pay and not their responsibility to pay.
That's nice of them.
Yeah, so my own insurance ended up coming after me for that. And then I didn't pay my taxes that year, so I ended up owing $80,000 in taxes. And so there was about 4 years of just, trying to get my finances back in order. And when that was finished, I owned 2 businesses. I had a carpet cleaning business and a fishing boat. But both of them were like 4 years out of maintenance. And so every time I tried to work, something would break down. And I didn't have any cash or credit to reinvest into the company. So I started looking for other things to do. And I found this website of people who had set records sailing around the world alone. And I was like, well, there's no double amputee on that list. I'm just going to do that. And I sold the business and the fishing boat for $12,000. Bought a $12,000 sailboat. I learned to sail off of YouTube and books because I didn't even know any other sailors. My friend Brandon came with me for a 1-month trip around Hawaii where we basically learned to sail. And then after 1 month of sailing, I set off by myself. And my first trip alone was 1,000 miles from Hawaii to Palmyra.
Wow. And how did it go?
It was good. It was about 20-25 knot trades on that trip. So it was rougher than anything I would have taken my fishing boat out in. I remember like right as I got past South Point, when I was finally out in the open ocean and outside the lee of the big island, it was probably like 2-meter waves and 20-25 knots of wind. And like I said, I would have never taken my fishing boat out on a day like that. But the Allberg handled fine, and it was rolly and rough, but I got used to it pretty quick. And it was a 10-day trip to Palmyra, and arriving there was interesting too, because Palmyra, the highest elevation is just 6 feet above sea level. So you don't see it until you're like 3 or 4 miles away.
Wow.
And so it was a little bit scary getting close because you couldn't see it. I was like, oh, is this GPS working? It's like, I'd never done a trip like that before. So like if something had failed, like I didn't really have the confidence in my equipment yet at that point.
Same thing happened to me when we came up on Bonaire, because it's very low above sea level also. And we didn't see it until we were like 10 miles. And I was like, where is the island?
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Missing or what?
I started hearing radio traffic between because they have a bunch of researchers that are there. And so I heard radio traffic from the base to the researchers. I was like, oh, thank God.
But it was 1,000 miles, first trip, scariest moment?
Probably just that moment when I couldn't see the island being so close.
No major problems or traumas along the way,
there was,
storms, nothing?
No, nothing serious. There was some squalls, and I caught a marlin that crashed the wind vane pretty hard. And so I was a little bit nervous there, but thankfully the marlin got off when he hit the wind vane, so I didn't have to deal with him past that point.
Good, good.
Yeah.
Daniela is ready.
We need some flour.
Okay, we bring some flour.
Ok, vamos a cortar un poquito.
We cut the dough.
So nice. Okay, first we pass on the big twice. Okay.
Okay, now she changed the size, make more thin.
Flour, because otherwise I touch.
Flour for don't stick it in the hole when it's more flat. captain is so cool. He looking with a
fascinating.
very intense eyes.
Authentic Italian cuisine coming to fruition on Sophisticated Lady.
Look worried.
Me worried now.
I think so surprised. He never
I love the
showed.
old school machines. Remember the
Hello?
press?
Paul is coming.
Can't remember.
Hey, Paul!
Come in. Come in.
But no sailing issues, trouble with the boat. Everything went well.
Yeah, that first trip, everything went well. The second trip, I sailed to Fanning, and they didn't let me stay because I didn't have a Zarpe from Hawaii. And they said it's like a $500 fine for not having a Zarpe, which I didn't have that amount of money on the boat, and there's no ATM machine there. So I had to just pull anchor and leave. And then one day from there, I lost the wind vane rudder. You know, this white thing here. So it was a different wind vane on the Alberg. It was a monitor, and the whole rudder just disappeared. And I was still, gosh, I was about 1,100 miles from American Samoa at that point. And I freaked out. I was like, oh, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I can't hand steer for 1,100 miles. Obviously I would have had to, but you know, after using a lot of swear words, which didn't solve the problem, but it was worth a try, I made myself a Bailey's and coffee and just looked at the problem for a little bit.
It solves everything.
It did, yeah. And so then I just started looking around the boat for things I could maybe make a rudder out of. And I used a wooden oar. So I sawed off the end of the wooden oar, used a hole saw to fix it, size it properly so it fit into the tube.
For the wind vane.
Yeah, for the wind vane. So basically that rudder there, I used a wooden oar for. And it was a slightly different design, so
Good solution.
yeah, it worked. And I used it all the way until Fiji. So I went to American Samoa, Tonga, and Fiji with the wooden oar. And
That's a good
eventually,
system.
eventually Monitor sponsored me a new one. So
That's what you got on here now.
now this one is this is a different boat. So this is a different wind vane design. So this one's a wind pilot. And,
Okay. How is it?
it's really nice. Yeah, it works well. It does, I think, better than the electric autopilot going upwind.
Now notice you got a drum on here, so you got
Yeah.
some kind of a wheel steering pilot also.
So this is what works with the wind vane. So
Oh, okay.
it's sheeted through these blocks, and then I'll put a block here, and then it has a thing that wraps around this. And so basically when this rudder goes side to side, it pulls the lines from that block to here,
And moves the wheel.
and then it moves the wheel. Yeah, it's not quite as good as it is with like tillers. Like tillers are a little bit more responsive, but it still works really well. And going upwind, it works faster than the electric autopilot does.
You have electric on there too?
Yeah, I have a Raymarine autopilot here also.
Okay, so this one, yeah, you've got both electric and
Yeah,
wind.
which is really nice, because especially for motoring, because the wind vane doesn't work well in light winds or while you're motoring.
Right, right. That is one thing I'd still like to put on the Lady is a nice wind vane. It's
Yeah.
going to be especially difficult given this, you know, all the stuff I've got at the back and the panels and everything. But well, you got your panels up here also, but I guess your wind vane is just under the panels.
Yeah, I put them up that high, like the way it is, to give enough room for the wind vane. So I did kind of design that with the wind vane in mind, and yeah, it works
good.
really well.
Good and sturdy.
Yeah.
Solid tubing all the way around. You use the same frame to brace the wind generator.
Yeah, I had this whole thing made in Thailand for about $1,200 US.
Nice.
So pretty amazing. Even he made this little wheel here, was $5, which this is an amazing little intricate piece.
Wheel lock?
Yeah, this thing's just a wheel lock. So, but yeah, he made this whole little thing for $5, and he made so this is my swimming leg. So I designed this, and it's got like a little button here, so you could put it into a swimming position or back like this.
Yeah.
And so he also made this for me for $100. And so
Very nice.
this
And
is
all
better
carbon
than
fiber.
Yeah, and it's all carbon fiber. Yeah, he just made this ankle attachment here, but yeah. So this was like my own design, and
Looks very robust.
yeah, it's 4 years old now and still going strong.
At some point, it's probably going to save your bacon on the boat. Something will break and you'll be able to use that pivot.
Yeah, exactly. This spring was off a boat part. I can't remember what it was, but it was hard finding a stainless steel spring in Thailand, so I took it off of something that was on the boat. Oh, I think it was a spring for the washdown thing.
And Paul
Arrives.
arrives
My mom.
with
Hey.
beer.
With beer.
Cool, buddy.
How you doing, brother?
Good, good. So yeah, you're the Canadian. I want to see you teach the Italians how to make pasta.
I spend a week and a half with Mama every year doing pasta. So we don't speak the same language, and I do the twisting, and she yells and screams, and because she doesn't want to move out of her chair. So I have more experience doing the pasta than Danielle.
That's pretty funny, actually. Paul comes in and he starts, "Hey, you guys are doing it wrong.
She's now making a noise.
You're doing it wrong."
Hey, look at.
Paul's here to give some lessons now. He's going to teach the
Yeah,
Italians how to cook Italian pasta.
He learned from straight from my mom.
Look at.
Okay.
I had to do the bag work.
Look at.
Raviolis.
Look at the style.
Mm-hmm.
You want to do, Paul? Show us how to close.
We make more speedy now.
Yeah, we have a chain.
We have a
catena-
pole
la
that
catena-
comes with us for
Come
you.
si dice catena di montaggio?
Get your ass in gear, Paul. Come on.
I've never seen Danny work. She's doing a pretty good job. She's never there when I'm with Mama.
And the pasta the dough look perfect.
Very good, the dough.
E poi li taglio li faccio più lunghi. Adesso provo. Li facciamo così.
I want to see you, Paul.
No, I'm amazing.
The Canadian tortelli.
You gotta do the finger across, squish. Oops, it popped open, but that's okay.
This is a rose.
Amazing. Look at that.
Wow. This
You
is a
girls can
rose.
learn from this.
So yeah, that's quite a challenge. Deciding to become the first guy sailor around the world, double amputee, alone.
Yeah. It was tough at first. Definitely the first trip was a bit scary, and it's progressively gotten easier. And since I got this boat, like, I'm having a lot less boat problems. So before, the challenge was compounded with the boat was always falling apart.
Mm-hmm.
And
The Allberg.
Yeah, the Allberg was just.
So that was a very older design. How old is this one now?
This one's in 1983, but it's been kept up a lot nicer than the Allberg was.
Mm-hmm.
So by the time I got to Thailand with the Allberg, it was taking on water. It needed new rigging, probably needed a new mast. There's stress cracks in the mast. I got towed back into Bali 4 times. So I was planning on going from Bali all the way around Sumatra and into Malaysia. And 4 times I got towed back in, like not making it more than 5 miles from Bali. So the boat was in shambles, and luckily it did make the trip eventually up to Malaysia, and then I did a crowdfunding and bought this.
Nice. And you are near completion because you are, well, we're in San Andres, so you got 200 and something miles to Panama, and you're back in your Pacific Ocean.
Yep.
And then it's just back to Hawaii to complete the circumnavigation.
Yeah, exactly. It's
You're close.
interesting. I'm so close, and
You getting excited?
I am.
Did you think you'd get this far?
Yeah. After I left Thailand, I knew I would finish the trip. Definitely with all the boat problems I had before Thailand, I was questioning whether I wanted to keep going.
Yeah.
And,
That's what I mean. Sooner or later, everybody comes across these realizations. Oh, do I really want to do this? Or is the boat going to let me finish? You know, or is it just going to be what am I doing?
Yeah, exactly. And it was probably about 2 years of like struggle and not knowing whether or not the boat would make it or if I would have enough money to keep going. But once I've left Thailand, it's become a lot easier, and I've really started to enjoy it a lot more.
But you sold your businesses. You used that money just to buy the boat.
Hmm.
Then how do you fund the trip?
So I have a small disability income that's from the government, $1,000 a month, and that's what I was financing my trip with. But I didn't realize that the boat expenses were going to add up to more than that a lot of the time, and then also obviously I have to feed myself too.
What? The boat expenses became more than you thought? What? What do you mean?
Exactly.
I've never heard that before.
Yeah, so it did end up being a lot more expensive than I anticipated. So once I got to Thailand, I did the Patreon and GoFundMe, and that's sustained me up until now.
So how'd you find an audience? Like, where was your audience coming from?
It came from Facebook. It was just, funnily enough, the GoFundMe that bought this, I raised like $16,000, $17,000 within a couple of weeks. And almost all of it was either my friends or like 1 or 2 degrees of separation. Like I could pretty much track down how anyone who donated had found my site. So I didn't really have this big audience like you do. And so it was just a matter of just people that knew me that donated. And but luckily I do know a lot of people. So there's a lot of real generous people that basically bought this boat for me. But now I have a blog and a fair bit of media presence, and so I'm getting randomly bursts of crowdfunding, like through blogs, or I've been doing some podcasts lately and stuff, and so that seems to always bring in some more people to the crowdfunding.
Well, even your supporters and fans and everything must be getting excited now. You're getting closer to the end of the trip. You're almost there.
Yeah, it's I'm gonna have to figure out what to do with my life now. I've considered just to keep going, but I would like to.
But you're gonna set a world record, right?
Yes, yes.
When you complete.
I'll be the first double amputee to solo sail around the world. I've probably set a few records along the way, because I don't think anyone's acrossed the Indian Ocean or the Atlantic, or so if I really looked into it, I'd probably set a few records along the way.
Yeah.
But yeah, the big one was my goal, so I'm not really worried about it until that. And yeah, then I could start looking for a new project
and move on to the next thing.
Yep.
Very cool story, man. And congratulations on getting this far and almost finished now. I mean, you're so close. And yeah, I mean, I still can't even fathom. I mean, I know what it's like to be at sea on my boat, and it's a handful. And I don't have those type of disabilities to deal with. The boat, the boat governs you sometimes, but no, I'm happy to know that you still have a good experience with the boat. You picked a good boat, obviously, and the boat likes you, and everything has worked well. But yeah, if you guys want to help Dustin finish his trip or anything, I don't know what the links are right now, but I know he's got some links. I'm going to publish those in the text description below, so you can find the links, and you can find his blog. Stay in touch as he's finishing his trip, because I'm sure within the next probably few months, unless you spend some time in Panama. Are you going to spend any time on the west side of North America? Or are you just going to get through and basically take off for Hawaii?
I think once I get through Panama, I'm planning on going straight to Galapagos.
Yeah.
And then I want to do Polynesia and then back to Hawaii by Christmas.
Back to Hawaii by Christmas. So this year, 2021, you'll wrap up the circumnavigation.
Yep.
Very cool. Yeah, if you guys want to be part of Dustin's adventure, I'll leave the links for you below in the text description, so check those out. Be sure and tell him Captain Rick says hi.
Hey, hello everybody. Cheers.
Yeah, thanks for having me aboard, man.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
It's been a pleasure to meet you guys. We're going to miss you when you leave. We had a lot of fun just hanging out. Nice to have you on board.
Yeah, likewise. Well, I hope to catch up with you in Panama as well.
I think we will, yeah. We're going to be in Panama for a little while, so we'll get a few things done, and then hopefully off to Costa Rica, Galapagos also. Maybe we'll see them there too. You never know where the horizon's going to bring you next. You just keep following it. That's all we can do. And the result is...
Cheers!
Wow. Fresh tortelli. Is it tortelli?
Totally. Yeah, ricotta and spinach.
Nice.
With Parmesan and ragu sauce. Right?
Bolognese style.
Bolognese style.
Real
well.
Italian style.
Italian style.
Where's mine? Here we go. Salud, everybody.
Salud. Cheers.
Welcome aboard.
Salud and have a
Dustin.
good trip. Good wind.
Yep, safe winds,
Oh,
safe
thank
travels.
you, thank you.
We wish you good travels, and we hope to see you again soon.
Cheers.
And you guys, thanks for coming over. Good to see you, and thanks for helping out with the...
Don't sleep after
Thanks for the new
Don't
recipe.
Now we try.
We need to get one of those presses.
I'm going to try now.
Salud.
Wow.
Cheers. Lunchtime, gotta go. I'd like to extend a special thank you to Squarespace for coming on board to sponsor some of our SSL episodes. If you haven't heard of them, they are a full-featured website hosting, construction, and development platform. We had switched over to build our new SailingSophisticatedLady.com website on Squarespace about 6 months ago. You can see as we update our partners section that it is very intuitive and easy to find your way through. So if you are looking for new hosting or a place to build your new website, have a look at squarespace.com. And Dustin on deck. Final preparations before he heads to sea. See, he's already got his engine off the dinghy on the rail. Just waiting to hoist the dinghy next, I think. And he will be on his way. And as they say, one friend leaves, and it looks like Another one arriving. There's a new boat in the channel. Look at that. Yeah, I wonder who that is. And then yeah, you go over here and look at Aquario. And it's like crazy. Wow. Never seen so many boats there. Look at that. Yeah, big party at Aquario. Sunday fun day at its best.
Look at the pizza.
All things normal, eh? And then what? Back over here.
The pizza floating bar.
Yeah. Crazy over there too. But it's a magnificent day, like beautiful weather today.
Yes.
Lots of boats at Ibiza. Yeah, looks like everybody's out having fun today. That's good. Good to see. Things coming back to normal, even more normal now. Yeah, gonna be curious to see who this boat is. Just coming in as Dustin's leaving. And I think he's just about ready to hoist his dinghy.
Yeah.
Looks like a mini oyster. The window design. We'll have to see when it gets closer and turns sideways. Yeah, it might be a small center cockpit oyster.
One's going, one coming.
Mm-hmm. The way of the sailors.
Yeah.
We're like the wind, we just keep moving. Well, except for this year.
Yes. Anchor is the name. If you want an anchor, find the sand spot.
Yeah, just look for a green spot, and that's where somebody's already dug it up a little bit. It's better holding.
Alright. Thank you.
Where'd you guys arrive from?
Roatan.
Roatan. Nice, good trip.
5 days of fun.
Ooh, Roatan, that's a big upwind trip. Remember, I tried to avoid that. That's why I went to
Yeah.
Mexico and met you.
Yeah. Well, for these it is, so they have a lot of fun told us now.
Yeah, if I just sailed straight here from Roatan, I never would have met you.
Isla Mujeres.
Isla
Mexico.
Mujeres. Anchor's coming up. Anchor's away.
See you soon.
Aloha. See you guys at the next spot.
Aloha, man. Have a good sail. We see you at the next stop.
Cheers, sounds good.
One last pass across our bow and another friend's gone.
I think so we are the next.
Well, I think we might be. Our time's coming to an end soon too.
Yeah.
I think we're still in our last month. It's time to move.
Yeah, it's the time. It's pretty.
One dinghy out of the water, one dinghy in the water. You never know what the horizon's going to bring.
Not for me, thanks. No.
Just one
You need to say.
Yep, I'm going sailing.
You need to say, have there arrived Justin with us?
Dustin.
There is. Captain. I called him Dustin.
What are you doing?
Yeah. Arrived Dustin with us for the last lunch together.
Dustin is going sailing.
Yep.
I don't know how he did it, but he got his clearance on time.
On Sunday.
On
Yeah,
Sunday,
on
no
Sunday,
less.
yes.
You got his RP with immigration stamps, everything on a Sunday. You're good, man. But yeah, unfortunately, we've only known him a short time, but he's on his way today, so we got to say, see you later. Until
Aloha.
yeah, and aloha. He's from Hawaii, actually, but yeah, we're gonna see him again, I'm sure, down in Panama. He's going to Bocas.
Yep.
Bocas hang out for a while. We're gonna go to Shelter Bay by Cologne, and I'm sure we'll be bumping into him again soon. But for now, we wish him well and a safe trip,
Cheers.
and we will see you there.